Something came from Baltimore. Something came from Baltimore.
Welcome to Something Came from Baltimore. My name is Tom Gowker, and tonight it's episode 2 of Hey Baltimore series. COVID is almost over, and live music is happening now. It's time to get out there and enjoy the sense of community. The next time you want to go see a show, say no to Ticketmaster and yes to local clubs. They need your support in a big, bad way, and you must support your local artist. They also need that support and validation to continue, and that's what Hey Baltimore, this series is all about. The Be More music scene is hot. It's no joke, and we have amazing national artists that play right in our backyard. This is an idea of mine. Normally, Something Came from Baltimore, we chat about new albums, and we talk to the artist who's created them, and now we're taking time to celebrate local artists. If we have great musicians in our neighborhood, it's very possible that you have those same type of high quality, great musicians in your neighborhood that is looking for your support. So I'm floored by the second artist in this series. His name is Mike Kuhl, and he has a group called KRAFT, the Mike Kuhl KRAFT. We are listening to songs from the April 15th live stream from Ande Music in Baltimore. It's a great place to see a show, great views, most comfortable chairs ever. And Ande Music is located in 409 North Charles Street. KRAFT is Mike Kuhl on drums, Dave Ballou is on trumpet, and Luke Stewart on bass, and John Dierker on multiple reeds. And we have links on information for this band, so you can check that out in our show notes. It's jazz free, it's free jazz, it's an improvised set, and it sounds really hot. All right, well, so what we're doing here is, and this is like turning into a really fun project. We're out of our COVID coma, so we're ready to play live music. I want to focus on the local live talent that we have available. I actually feel that maybe Baltimore has a leg up on people. Maybe we are better than most places. Mike Kuhl, welcome to Something Came from Baltimore.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, I thank you very much for offering me these live tracks that we're going to dig into. When I was listening to them, I was thinking that I'd really like to see these live because I love the soup and I would love to watch you guys, make the ingredients and look at it. It seems like there's a visual component that I really like to see you guys work through. Where were these songs recorded?
They were recorded Ande Music and, in Baltimore. I think it was in February that it was recorded this year.
On the Keynesian scale of, say, free jazz, like where do you lean on your influence? Are you a John Cage or Ornette Coleman, John Henderson, John Coltrane, Art Ensemble Chicago kind of guy? Where are you leaning?
Man, yeah, that's tough. That's a good question and a tough question. I mean, I've checked out all those people. They're all incredible artists, and a lot of the people that are going, that are performing now, like Michael Formanek. He's a big influence of mine. He lived in the area for a while, but he's back up in in the New York area, and Tim Byrne, Tony Malaby, all those guys now are really, really heavily influencing me and just keeping me going in this direction. I love playing improvised music, and that as well as all the legends, Ornette Coleman, and Anthony Braxton, William Parker. So all those guys. Gerald Cleaver is a guy now too that I'm a great drummer that I listen to a great deal for inspiration. So yeah, it's a little bit of all that.
I just interviewed Joe Lovano, and I said that his music was free jazz, and he changed it. And he goes, "No, I call it jazz free, where it's completely up for interpretation." And I was like, I said, I like that a lot. I think that's pretty awesome. And and I was thinking of when I was listening to your songs, they don't seem improvised on the spot. They seem a little more structured. Am I wrong by saying that?
Well, yeah, because they are 100% improvised. Yeah.
Well, that's blowing my mind because they're amazing.
Oh, wow. I think everybody in this group, that's what makes this group, I feel pretty special is, everybody's just really comfortable doing that. It's just like we'd prefer to do that. It's like we're looser when we go up there because everybody, just has, just huge ears, and we just, everybody's able to just react and just right on the spot. And it's beautiful. Nothing gets, nothing gets repeated. It's never boring. We're always just, kind of just going for it. And, spontaneous composition, it's like, I guess, yeah, Joe Lovano will say like jazz free, right? It's sort of just like music on the spot, Yeah, I kind of prefer it that way. It's fun.
Wow. I mean, I'm totally impressed and surprised. I was talking to the guys at Thumbscrew, and they came in. They came in with their compositions, and they improvised over top of it. But the fact that you guys just kind of, did this on the spot it's pretty impressive. It really is impressive. The track that I really want to focus on is Stick and Move. I think it's fantastic. Can you give me just a little idea as to what the thought of that when you were doing it?
Sure. I mean, I was thinking about it, and I've been like throughout my just in the past 10 years, I've been studying a lot of martial arts, and it's always, I studied Bagua Kung Fu, and we're always like sparring and just trying to sticking and moving. And that track, just with this, it had the rise and fall and just like the lefts and the rights, and everything was kind of thrown into that improvisation. And that's what I just kept feeling when I was listening to it, and it was a pretty wild experience listening back to that. Because a lot of times when you do this, you're just so in the moment, you almost don't remember what happened, So that's basically where that title came from. Just a lot of the, experiences I've had in my martial arts training in the last 10 years.
I'm more in awe now than ever because I was like, so when long time ago I saw Ornette Coleman at the Kimmel Center, and I was kind of like, you have to see him, right? And he's a legend. And it was at break time, and at intermission, and I saw one of my friends, and I said, I really don't know what's going on here. And he goes, it's okay. It's okay. You just don't want to be anywhere else but here right now. I think that's kind of the style of the music that you have, is that you don't have to come in with any conceived notion as to what you're going to experience, other than the fact that you're going to get washed over with beautiful sounds.
You're like, what you're saying is like what, kind of that, the things that I want to hear and want to achieve playing this music, because right, it forces you to be like, to dig down deep inside yourself. It's like, do I like this? What's this doing? You can't really ask anybody else, their opinion of it. It's really, it comes down to what you think of it. And that's really personal thing. And that's like, there's not many other types of music. I mean, there is, but like where you can just be like, wow, what does this mean to me right now? Even the performer, as we're doing it, we're like, there's so much emotion going with it. And yeah, I mean, that to me, that's exciting. It's just like, because there's been times where I was like, oh, I don't know if I like this, and it's just a whole range of emotions. And so it's a little spiritual journey there.
Sure. Being less rigid opened up the door for me. I was able to watch Sun Ra and James Blood Ulmer, and Ronald Shannon Jackson was like a big deal for me. And I'm so overwhelmed with Mary Halverson. I've admitted in my interviews I have like that weird psycho fan crush thing where she can do no wrong. But
she's amazing.
Yeah, and I'm just like, how does she do it? I don't get it. Real Mensch. Do you remember how that came about also?
That started out with another little drum solo, but Dave's, like you were saying, that melody that Dave plays, about a minute in, it almost sounds like it's, written out. He's reading the music. It just sounds like this perfect melody. And it's kind of like an uplifting sort of, little ditty that he's playing. And it just reminded me of my friendship with Dave, like Mensch is like a good guy, a good, stand-up person. And I've been friends with Dave for, almost 10 years now. And, we just had a great friendship, and just been a hell of a time playing with him the past, decade. So I was thinking of Dave with that title for sure.
So the first track called Underneath. Can you explain what Underneath means to you?
Well, yeah, just the overall sound of that track, of that improvisation was, it started with Luke's bass work in the beginning, and it just, to me, it just sort of sounded like, and with Dave creeping in and the percussion and John Dierker, it just seemed like we were all scratching something just beneath the surface, and it kind of scary in a little bit, in a little bit of a way, but it never quite came to the top. We were just right underneath. So.
In the show notes, we have all your links so people can get a hold of my Kuhl and my KRAFT and your other variations of your artistry. You're just another example of all the amazing talent that's in our Baltimore area. And we're asking everyone who's listening to go out and check out some live shows and support your local artists, because talent's in your backyard. And at the same time, we have a lot of good talent here in Baltimore.
Oh yeah,
it's a
boy.
secret. We have a great artist nest, and we just don't want people to know about it because we don't want our rent to increase. Everything's relatively affordable at this point.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I asked people as I was going through all my interviews during the COVID period how they handled it or how are they handling it. And I feel like we're getting towards the end of it. Did you feel more creative or motivated during this time period, or did you feel like you needed to sit back and reevaluate what was going on?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both, but I've been able to just like practice more, and really just kind of get back to, what I want to do with the drums, what I want to do with music, composing more. Just been, just a little bit of a sharper focus because, there was just no gigs. I mean, I went from playing, 3-4 times a week to nothing, Yeah. So everything had to adjust a little bit. So I just had a bunch of time to sit down on my drums and, really just play and have fun again. And it's not like I didn't have fun before, but just really kind of get back to creating something, new for me. And that's been exciting. So
I thank you, Mike Kuhl, for joining me today on Something Came from Baltimore.
Great. Thanks for having me.